Welcome to Circles. Today's objectives are to write an equation for a circle and to learn how to graph a circle and identify its center and the radius. So the first thing we want to learn to do is to write the equation of a circle. Now, to write the equation of a circle, you should know the center and the radius because we need to use the standard equation of the circle to write the equation. So here is the standard equation for a circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k stand for the center of the circle and r is the radius. So right here, this is our h and k, and this is obviously r. So from there it's pretty straightforward. This is the standard equation. So we just plug h and k and r in. So the standard equation for the circle would be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 5 squared or 25. And that's the equation of a circle with a center at 2, 1 and a radius of 25. Now let's say that we wanted to graph this. Well, we can graph it because we know the center and because we know the radius. So let's draw our y-axis and our x-axis. So we have a center at 2, 1, and then we have a radius of 5. So the outermost points are all 5 spaces away from the center. So we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then from here we just connect the dots. So not a perfect circle, but that's the idea. Now, I want to talk about the definition of a circle because I think most of us grew up learning that circles were just these round shapes. But as we get into more of the definitions of algebra, we should know that a circle, it's a set of points from a center. So all of these points here, they just get so close to each other that it makes it look like a smooth line. But really, this is all just a collection of points that are equidistant from the center. So let's get that as our definition for a circle. So a circle is a set of points that are equidistant from a center. And that center is usually depicted as HK. Now let's say I give you the picture of a graph and we're asked to write an equation for that circle. Well, we have to figure out two things. We have to know the center and we have to know the radius. So the center here is just 0, 0. And the radius we count. So here's 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces. But these are in intervals of 2, so 2 times 3 is 6. So our radius is 6. Once we have that information, we can use the standard form for circles and write our equation. So we just plug in our values. So we'll leave x as is. There's no h, so it'll be x squared. There's no k, so leave that as y squared, and 6 squared is just 36. So in this next problem, we're writing the equation of a circle, but we're given the center and one of the points on the circle. So I won't draw exactly this graph, but this is basically what we're being given. So we have our y-axis and our x-axis, and we have some circle, and we're given some center and one point on the circle. So remember, to write the equation of a circle, we need the center and the radius. So the distance from the center to that point, that's going to be our radius. So what we have to do is to find the distance from the center to the point. And the good thing about this is that we can use the same equation of a circle to help us find the radius. So our standard equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we don't know the radius here, that's what we're solving for. But we do know this point here, and that can be our x and our y. So we'll plug in 8 for x, our h will be 2, that comes from our center, we'll square that. Our y here would be 12, our k will be 4, and we'll square that as well. And we're solving for r. So we do the algebra. 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 squared is 36. 12 minus 4 is 8, 8 squared is 64. So then we have r squared equals 100. So our radius is going to be 10. So we have a radius now, and we have a center. Now we can write the equation. Our equation for this circle is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 10 squared, which is 100. So that's how you write the equation of a circle if you're given a center and one of the points of the circle. Sometimes we're given the equation for a circle that's not written in standard form, but we can still do algebra to manipulate the equation to make it look like it's in standard form, and then draw the information from there. So the idea here is to take this equation and make it look like this. Now to do that, you're going to have to complete the square. So that's our main tool here, is completing the square. So we have to complete the square. So if you remember the steps for completing the square, we want to group the like variables together. So we have x squared and minus 8x. Let's put those together. Then we have y squared plus 12y. And then we have our constant of 12, which will move to the other side. So we're going to have to complete the square twice here. So let's do it with the x's first. So we have x squared minus 8x. Now to complete the square, we want to do half of the middle term and square it. So I'll put parentheses out here to separate the x's from the y's. So half of negative 8 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. Now let's complete the square with the y variable. So I'll put a plus out here and open parentheses. So we have y squared plus 12y. So half of 12 is 6. 6 squared is 36. Then we have 12 on the right side. But we've added a 16 and a 36. We have to add that to the right side as well, because we want this equation to be balanced. So now on the left side, I can factor this x squared minus 8x plus 16 to be x minus 4 squared. I can factor this y squared plus 12y plus 36 to be y plus 6 squared. Then on the right side I have 12 plus 16 plus 36. 12 plus 16 is 28, plus 36 is 64. So we've gotten very close to our goal. Here's our equation for the circle, and this is what we wanted it to look like. So they asked us in the question to find the center and the radius. So the center we know. The center is just h and k. So the center is 4, negative 6. And our radius, it isn't 64 because r squared is 64. So r squared equals 64. So therefore r has to equal 8. And that's our answer. Our center is 4, negative 6, and our radius is 8. Alright, that's going to be the end of our video for today. You guys learn how to write the equation in standard form for circles, you learn how to graph circles, and you learn how to find the center and the radius if the equation is not in standard form. I hope this was helpful, and thank you. Take care.